Is there such a thing as a delayed action brake bind on trailers? Well, actually there is. G'day, my name is Vic. I do the WABCO product training for Southern Africa, and this is the 5-minute reminder. Practical tips from training to hopefully keep your wheels rolling. The 5-minute reminder is brought to you by Commercial Vehicle Solutions, CVS, formerly known worldwide as WABCO. CVS is a proud division of ZF. Right, delayed action brake binds. Let's go and have a look at it. It all revolves around trailers with dual couplings. To explain, we're used to our Susies behind the truck and in front of the trailer, but increasingly we're seeing the additional connectivity of Susies behind the fifth wheel. To show you how it works, let's just park our trailer and move our truck out the way. So traditionally our pipes ran from the front, and that's all very well. Now we have the additional connectivity of behind the fifth wheel. And nothing wrong with the system. It works very, very well. In terms of a design system, it's quite simple. We've got couplings on the front of the trailer and couplings from behind the fifth wheel. In terms of functionality, service from the front, brakes come on fast, release fast. Service from behind the fifth wheel, service brakes come on fast and release fast. So let's just go and have a look at this little setup. And I'll show you where I'm concerned. So it all revolves around this little double check valve. The highest pressure delivers. So if we put pressure in from behind the fifth wheel, you can see it then directed out through port 2 down to the service brakes. To explain how it works, it's got a little internal piston. So highest pressure delivers, piston moves across, is directed. So it's quite simple as that. That little piston prevents the major loss of air out of the other coupling. But that said, how it actually happens, we've got our, say, service brakes, which average pressure is about 1.5 bar. While that's all happening, we do actually get a minuscule amount of pressure that actually gets past that piston because it's not held in place by a spring, it's only held by air pressure. And I'm saying minuscule, as in tiny. It's not enough. You won't hear it, you won't feel it. So if you do hear or feel it, yeah, there's a problem. But it happens nonetheless. And because it's able to exhaust out of the other coupling, everything works perfectly well. Well, until somebody's been working on the brake system. To explain, that's how a coupling should look. As we learned on episode 1, all the couplings on the front of the trailer should have strikers on them, the female couplings. But, you know, one coupling looks like another. Sometimes people don't look too closely. And you can see the difference. Here we've got a short stem shutter valve, and you can see it by the 3 little leg as opposed to the striker. They're quite a bit different. The body is quite longer than the shorter striker, and it happens like that. So now, how does this impact operation? Well, highest pressure delivers. That minuscule amount of pressure, because it's able to get past over time, and we're talking 1.5, 2 weeks, that pressure builds up and builds up until one day when the driver releases the service brakes, and we have this situation, that residual pressure actually keeps the brake pressure on. And so now the brakes have a bind. Now, it's not a full brake application, it's a partial brake application. So the shoes are touching the drum or the brake pads are touching the disc, but it is enough to generate phenomenal heat, which can, of course, lead to tire fires, etc. So let's explain how this works. I'm going to use a set of gauges on a brake system so you can see what I'm talking about. In terms of gauges, these are available from our service partners, our distributors, and of course, directly from ourselves. The beep out the way. Here you can see we've connected the gauge onto the test point of the service side of the spring brake or booster. Notice the incorrect fitment of the couplings. Now watch what happens when we try and release the service brakes. The gauge drops until that residual pressure holds it. I'm showing 0.6 of a bar, it could be 0.5, 0.7, it really doesn't matter. It's just enough to keep those brakes on. And it also doesn't matter if those couplings are swapped the other way around. Same scenario, where the service brakes drop, but then hold brake pressure on. And this can be a problem. Your vehicle could be in a foreign country by the time this fault shows up. How do we solve it? Well, I think training. For our guys know when they're fitting couplings to notice the difference, that they're not all the same, that would help. And then visual inspections through your fleet. There's no faster way to do it. Visual inspection, if you know what to look for, your guys should be able to find it in relatively quick, smart time. Did you find that useful? imagine how much more useful it would be for your guys to be on one of our structured training courses. We do start at the very basics. We also offer fairly advanced training as well. We cover trucks, we cover trailer system. And for the guys that get through the basic courses, we also offer logical fault finding. Our training is available online, which has been there since 2020, which is our most cost-effective method of training. It's also quite convenient because it's available on Saturdays. But of course, we also now will be opening in-house because, well, nothing quite replaces that personal, in-person type of training. Training is part of our extensive fleet support program. So if we can assist you with training or fleet support, in fact, even if we can support you with future editions of the 5-minute reminders, why not get a hold of me? You've got my contact details, and my colleagues and I will do our best to be of assistance to you. Great, and have a great day. Thanks. Bye.